So my name is Gabby Kamakona. I am the director of the Career Service Center here at University of the People. I am super excited to be here with you this morning, your afternoon, your evening, your late night, whatever time it might be for you, to share some exciting information about virtual internships with you. So I am going to share my screen, as the very first part of this webinar will be more of a presentation to share information with you about what virtual internships is, what the experience is here at University of the People. Then I want to make sure you all know I will leave plenty of time in this webinar for you to ask questions and to get as much clarification as you need to understand the program and understand if it is the right fit for you. What I suggest you do along the way is ask questions in the chat, just like you're posting right now, where you're from, because I will come back, scroll all the way back up to the top and start from the beginning of the questions as soon as the presentation is over. My hope is that the presentation will answer some of your questions ahead of time, but I know there will be lots of questions, as there have been in all of our webinars in the past about virtual internships, and I'm excited to answer them all for you. So with that, I am going to share my screen. And get us going. So today we are talking about virtual internships. Please know that this webinar is being recorded and will be sent out to you. So if there's things you missed or things you want to hear again, you will have the deck, you will have a guide, and you will have this webinar to reference. As I mentioned, I love for you to ask questions along the way. I won't be able to see the questions that you're asking along the way right now, but I will absolutely be able to see them as soon as I stop sharing my screen and this deck, and I will come back to all of the questions that you have put into the chat. Today, we are going to cover why we're here, right? A little bit of introduction into remote work, what that means. An overview of virtual internships, the partnership and organization we are working with. I will speak very specifically about the program here at University of the People to give you as much detail as possible. Then I'll answer questions. So I know that you all received an email inviting you to attend this webinar and gave you a bit of information about virtual internships, but I'd like to give you a little bit more. University of the People is partnering with Virtual Internships, which is an organization outside of the university that offers remote internship opportunities worldwide across a variety of industries. We have been partnering with them over the course of the last few terms, which has been very exciting. So we have students who are already working with companies through virtual internship in an internship arena, getting experience. And we're excited that we're going to be able to continue offering this opportunity, we believe, for the foreseeable future, which is super exciting for the university. The reasons that we are doing this is for what hopefully is pretty obvious for our students. We want to help set you up for future success. We know that gaining skills that are important and popular to employers is beneficial while you're getting your degree, meaning that you have the ability to gain the skills that employers are looking for and have the ability to speak to them in a way that is more meaningful than just saying you can do it, but just show that you have already done it and already had the experience. We also hope that this will help expand your personal network by being able to work with a company to gain experience and networking with a company that aligns with your career goals. And at the same time, offering you the flexibility to get this real world experience while you continue your courses at University of the People. You continue to have the flexibility to do the courses in an asynchronous way. And you'll hear a bit more about that the virtual internship is trying to be as accommodating to your personal schedule as possible. And then the last reason we partnered specifically with Virtual Internships as the organization to do this is because they have a ton of critical support that helps alongside University of the People to make sure you're successful in your internship experience. Now, this opportunity, although we know we are likely going to be able to continue offering it, does have some criteria that needs to be met, particularly around how far along a student is in their program, the program that they're studying. So that is why this invitation is only sent to some students here at the university. So we're excited that you are able to be invited and hopefully participate. So let's talk a little bit about remote work. Now, many of you probably know what remote work means, what it looks like. If you've never done it before, I love to talk a little bit about it, especially because I have been working remotely for almost 10 years. And so I think there is a lot of very valuable assets in learning how to do remote work. So remote work, which you've probably heard to refer to before as working from home, virtually, telecommuting. Sometimes remote work can also be hybrid, meaning it's partly remote and partly in an office setting. The wonderful part about remote work is that it's flexible and it allows an employee to work from a location that they deem is appropriate, has obviously meets the needs, meaning they can get onto the internet and they have enough space and privacy to do the work that they need to do, but they don't have to go to a physical location in order to complete the work. So some remote workers work from home, that's me. Some work from co-working spaces. So obviously across the globe, there are co-working locations where people can go and they work remotely, but they work together remotely. And then there are people that this has been a fun term for me to learn over the last few years, who are digital nomads, meaning they love to work remotely because they change their location frequently as well, either because they like to travel or because they have a couple of different home bases that they like to work from, but it gives them the flexibility not to be tied to a specific location. And as long as they can work the hours that are needed, that they could live anywhere and be anywhere that they want to be. Now, what are the benefits of working remotely? Now, obviously, there's some intrinsic personal benefits to being able to work remotely because you're in your home environment, you don't have to commute, there's some time saving there. But some of the things that I like to focus on are more around the employability factor of being a remote worker. After COVID, as you can imagine, many companies, particularly national, international, regional companies, went to working in some kind of remote capacity, either entirely or partially. And so since companies like the ability to be able to have a larger pool of potential employees across the world, across the globe, across the country, this idea of remote work has become and still is very attractive since COVID particularly. And so we love that virtual internships gives you an opportunity to practice remote work, gain real world experience, and let you stand out as a candidate who has actually done some of this remote work, because it is slightly different. And one of the things that employers are really looking for when they're hiring remotely or for hybrid work is that someone has the intrinsic ability to get work done without being micromanaged, meaning that they are able to take initiative, get projects done, ask questions, be present when they need to be present, and then can take back and accomplish deadlines on their own. The beauty of a remote internship is that you're able to show you can do that, and you have done that. Also, employers are very fascinated with skills like thinking outside of the box, being analytical, being a problem solver, being flexible. All of those characteristics in work can be experienced in a remote environment, because oftentimes you do have to do that. You don't have someone next to you all the time to ask questions to. So as a remote employee, you can say that you have had to do that, right? You have actually done that in a remote work environment and have those skills. Last thing is that in sort of the last 5 years, companies have become very comfortable hiring remotely. And one of the things that they look for when they're hiring remotely is someone who can still make a personal connection over a camera, over a video. And that can be a bit challenging, right? Because it's not something that we naturally do in our environments. So when you work remotely or have some experience in remote work, you are inevitably doing this. You are inevitably creating a relationship, showing your personality through the camera, because you have to when you're talking to, let's say, the internship manager or the other individuals on the team. And so you're getting practice doing that. So when and if you apply to jobs remotely in the future, you also have that experience of being able to be yourself and show who you really are through a remote hiring experience, an online experience. Now, what does an actual virtual internship look like, right? Because this is different maybe than traditional remote work. You will gain experience from the comfort of your home or wherever you will do the internship hours. You will be fully supervised, so you will have a bit, not of the micromanaging, but of constant and full support that you need since it is an internship, while at the same time gaining industry knowledge in the career field that you have chosen and with projects that align with that career goal. You will still get some of the same experiences in a remote internship as you would in an in-person internship, because you will still have meetings. You will still work one-on-one with the supervisor. You will have team projects. You will be adding to team projects. You will have projects to speak about very specifically in your resume and in an interview after you complete the virtual internship. But unlike a traditional internship where you would go into the office every day or a couple of days a week, you have flexibility, you have a project timeline that you have to meet, and you have times that you have to connect virtually with the team. So you know very much how you need to schedule time and how you can complete the internship successfully. We know that getting real world experience before you hit the job market can be critical. We know that employers often say that you don't need previous experience necessarily to get the role, but I assure you that having some of it only helps you in the interview and hiring process. We also know that entry level is sort of a misnomer of a term very much, right? Because now in universities, in programs, not only are there opportunities to do internships like this, there's also opportunities in degree programs to get real world experience by working on projects, real world projects in classes and things like that. And so this gives you that same experience that other university students might be getting by working on real world projects in their specific classes. And the very last piece is around soft skills. So soft skills is something highly underrated, unfortunately, usually by candidates. And why I say that is because many people have similar technical skills to each other. Many people have similar educational backgrounds and experiences to each other when you hit the job market. What is unique to people is their soft skills, their ability to interact well with others, their ability to be innovative, their ability to problem solve, their ability to ask questions, to learn on the go. These are things that are critically important to employers. And when I speak with employers, I can tell you that 9 times out of 10, an employer is more interested in the soft skill ability of a student than always the technical skills. They know that they can help a student, a new employee, build technical skills. It is hard to build soft skills on the job. It is why internships can be so critical, because it gives you a chance to build your soft skills, to examine and hear feedback about what you do well in those arenas and grow from that and learn from that and improve those skills. And those are things that I believe employers are even more interested in sometimes than the technical or educational components of a candidate's resume. So here are the key components: a flexible work schedule. The other amazing thing about the virtual internship is that it is a 2 consecutive course program, meaning that you have to be in both courses consecutively in order to do the internship. The first course, which I will go into more detail, so you're talking about a 16-week program here to do virtual internships. The first 8 weeks is really setting you up for the internship. it's an application, it's interviewing with companies, it's a learning about some of these soft skills and innate things that you'll need in the internship. And then the second 8 weeks is the internship. It's 15 hours per week with a flexible schedule. The idea of the virtual internship program is that you can absolutely continue with other courses at the same time. The virtual internship course is set up to be the same amount of time per se that any other course would take you here at University of the People. So it is really creating that flexibility for you to continue taking the other courses that you need to finish your degree and to fit this in really as an elective course. All of the work that you do with virtual internship will be project-based. This is critical to sort of the next component of taking an internship to market, meaning that on your resume, not only will you have the internship to speak about, but you'll have very specific aligned projects to talk about on your resume and in interviews after you do virtual internship. When you are applying for virtual internship and interviewing with companies, they actually share with you before you start the internship what types of projects you will work on. They will give you examples. You will be able to work with virtual internships to make sure those projects really match the kind of skills that you're hoping to gain in your career field. So you will gain specific skills, specific knowledge. You will work on specific projects that you will help that company take to market so that you can talk about later. It's a really well-designed and well-crafted internship that virtual internships puts on so that it can be very specific and aligned to an individual's career goals. The last part I'll speak about in a more generic term coming from virtual internships is that virtual internships has what they call wraparound services for the interns, meaning that from the very beginning, you are paired up with an individual at virtual internships to help you find the right internship match. You also have access to online career content through virtual internships. You have access to global expert webinars. You have access to group discussions. And you also have the ability to earn certificates at the end of the program. And that's really an amazing thing as well to be able to add to your resume, because you'll be able to earn certificates not only about the completion of an internship, but also the completion of career content that helps build your personal skills to make you more employable. So let me talk next a little bit about sort of what the statistics have been around virtual internships. I think it's interesting to know, and I'm sure many of you have that question, particularly the question of what happens after the internship. So for virtual internships, specifically, individuals who have gone through a virtual internship at the partner virtual internships, approximately 28% of those learners have been able to continue working with their matched company in some capacity. Some of that paid, some of that perhaps still unpaid in an internship capacity, but 28% of the learners get to continue getting experience through their host company. 88% of the virtual internships alumni agree that after completing the program with them, they have a stronger ability to work remotely. And 81% of that alumni agree that they're more confident in obtaining a job. I cannot express how important confidence is when you're going into the job market. It can be nerve-wracking, right? Interviewing is a little scary, and applying for jobs can feel overwhelming. When you've already had some experience doing all of those things, it boosts your confidence, which I assure you also boosts your ability to do it again. And so those are very tangible, very concrete skills and abilities and confidence that you gain from doing a program like this. So now let's talk a little bit about the course, because I imagine these are also some of the very, very specific questions that individuals have when you are doing this particular internship. Now, let me just make sure. I'm going to stop sharing for 1 second because I just want to pop back into the questions and make sure anything that I've missed. Okay, I see questions already coming in. Can you take this course during the term? Excellent. Okay, so now I'm going to start sharing again and share very specifically about what the course looks like here at University of the People. And hopefully that will answer some of the questions that should pop in now. Okay, so let me get back to, sorry, I was already there and I just kept skipping. Okay, course overview. This is what it looks like here at University of the People. It is a 2 consecutive course program. So you have to be able to commit to both courses consecutively. This is a critical component of this internship opportunity. It happens during the normal terms here at University of the People. So what does that mean? Course 1 starts in term 3. So as you all know, registration begins in just about a week or so, less than a week or so here at University of the People for term 3. This is offered in term 3. When you commit to the term 3, you're also committing to term 4 to do this program. So in the first course, starting on January 29th of the new year, you will complete the virtual internship application on their portal, which is basically asking for a bunch of resume background information, asking you to submit videos so employers can learn a bit about you. There's a placement period, which is where you will be matched with potential host companies. You will interview potentially with multiple companies to find the right match. During that course, course 1, term 3, you will be matched with a host company and an internship. In course 2, which starts on April 9th, right, and is term 4 of your academic year, you will start your internship. You will start an unpaid internship, 15 hours a week. It will also have academic components in Moodle that you are also completing at the same time, just like any other course here at the university. And you will earn credits for each of these courses separately, 3 credits for each course. This is what you will learn in the courses outside of the internship hours. In course 1, you're going to learn a lot about communication, particularly in a virtual world, right? We want to set you up for success, and so does virtual internships. You'll learn about professionalism, time management, establishing SMART goals, cultural agility, so being able to immerse yourself in the culture of an organization. You'll learn about leadership, being able to take on projects and lead yourself through them. We'll also teach you about teamwork and collaboration. In course 2, you will continue to expand on some of those same types of skills as well as gain new ones. Talk more about your career management, career trajectory. How do you get the career that you want? We'll add on to communication. We'll add things like critical thinking, right? What does it mean to think on your toes on the job? Global and intercultural fluency. This is really critical in a remote world, right? Because people will be from all over with all different kinds of backgrounds. And it is really critical that you're able to interface and work with people from everywhere. We'll talk about equity and inclusion, professionalism, again around teamwork and leadership. Now, what does the program look like? When registration opens later this month, you will see the opportunity to register for a virtual internship. It will be a highlighted course on your registration page because you are eligible to participate. You will have to sign a consent that you understand that this is a 2-term program, that you are committing to both terms. The courses will count towards your course load allowed and are considered elective courses. Both general and in-program elective courses, they can count out as. They count for 3 credits each, meaning in term 3, course 1, you earn 3 credits if you finish that course. If you finish course 2 in term 4, you get 3 more credits. So it's a total of 6 credits if you do the whole program. You have to do the whole program to earn both sets of credits, and you have to do both courses in order to get through the internship. You will be asked to sign, as I mentioned, that consent. It happens right at registration so that there's hopefully no questions about what you're signing up for, because we realize this is a different kind of program than signing up for just a regular course here at the university. We want you to have full understanding of that and make sure that you can do that kind of commitment. This is a pay in advance program, which means that you have to pay before the course starts. Now, you don't have to pay for both courses up front. You pay for each course as it happens, meaning in term 3, when you register, you have until term 3 starts to pay the first payment. The course is $180. So since it's 2 courses, 2 consecutive courses, the total cost is $360. But again, I just want to be very clear. You only pay $180 for course 1. You get through that 8 weeks. When the course 2 starts, you pay another $180. Okay, so it's 2 payments taken at different times to do the entirety of the program. Here's what the classroom looks like. This is an interdisciplinary course, meaning that there will be students in the class, both from our business program and our computer science program. We offer virtual internships to both our associates and our bachelor degree seeking students. The program has discussions to enhance your skills. The courses focus very specifically on building your career skills, as well as building activities in your virtual internship. Assignments in your courses, as I mentioned, course 1 is very much going to involve this internship application. And course 2 is obviously going to involve you recounting the skills that you have learned in your actual internship, right? So the 2 courses will look different. The assignments will look different. There will be quizzes and there will be graded exams. Post-internship experience. Not only do you gain the experience to add to your resume, you also gain the certificate of having participated in the VI program. You gain a career bridge certificate if you finish all of the career content in virtual internships, which is part of the assignments in Moodle. So you should be able to complete that and earn that certificate. You will get a reference from your host company that you will be able to use. You will get access to an alumni group through virtual internships. You will get access to a LinkedIn group as well through virtual internships, and you will have access to continued career support and advice with virtual internships as well. So I think that I have spoken now for almost 30 minutes, which is probably quite a bit of time for all of you to have listened to me. So I appreciate you doing that. Let me get back to the presentation so that I can now answer your questions. Okay, so I see that, let's see here. Okay, just a couple of questions. So please feel free at this time to start posting some of your questions, either in the chat or the Q&A, wherever you're most comfortable, but I will be sure to answer them. So the first one I saw is, can you take this course during the term? Yes, that is exactly how this works. You're going to take it alongside your other courses. And the second question, I'm going to come back to the question about the company. So bear with me for 1 second. I'm going to answer the next question, which is, graduate in April, can you still participate? So here is how this works. If you decide to do virtual internships, you will have to extend your graduation period if you graduate before the end of term 4, meaning that you would need to stay as a registered student in term 3 and term 4 of this academic year to do the program. And then you would graduate instead of in April at the end of term 3, you would graduate, I think it's in June at the end of term 4. So you absolutely can still do the program, but you have to stay as a registered student and wait to request your diploma. The next question I see is, are you providing the list of companies we will be applied to? So no, we don't have a list of companies because virtual internships partners with tens of thousands of companies, right? There's thousands of companies that they partner with all over the world because they work with so many interns. So I suggest, because I think it's always a good idea to know what you're getting yourself into, that you go visit Virtual Internship's website, right? Visit the actual website of this partner company, Virtual Internships. You can see a bit more information specifically about them. You can also read a bit more. The way that they do the pairing for interns is that they first gather all of your needs as an intern, right? What types of projects, what career are you looking to go into, what program are you in, all of those things. Then they start to match you with companies. So you don't get a list, but you do get options, meaning that if you interview with a potential host company and it doesn't feel like a match, you have an individual you're speaking with at Virtual Internships and you share that feedback and you look for a company that matches your needs. Virtual Internships is very committed to making sure that the company you're partnered with and the projects that you work on align with what you want to do in the future. Is the internship synchronous or asynchronous? Does it require a time commitment? It absolutely requires a time commitment. And I would say it's both asynchronous and synchronous. So as I mentioned, during the second course, term 4, the internship is 15 hours per week every week. You need to be able to devote 15 hours of work time to your host company to get your projects done. You get basically insight into what you need to have done every week, and you will have check-ins. So the internship is asynchronous in the sense that those 15 hours don't have to be committed to, like, I have to work at my internship Monday from 8 a.m. to noon and Tuesday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. It doesn't work like that, but you have to be able to commit to your internship the 15 hours per week, meeting the project deadlines, meeting the timelines that you and your supervisor set, and then synchronous time to actually meet with your supervisor or team. Now that is flexible because they know you're a remote intern, but you do have to be able to do that to complete the internship. Okay. So again, I answered the question about the companies. With being able to continue with our matched company be something we have to arrange with them, or they offer that to us? Okay, great question. As you saw in the slides, only 28% of students or learners continue with their host company. If there is an opportunity to continue with your matched company, the matched company will reach out with virtual internships and make that offer available. Now, again, that could be in the form of a paid employment, part-time work, contract work, or continuation of an internship. So again, being continued matched with them does not necessarily mean that we're guaranteeing that you, or that virtual internships guarantees that you get a paid employment, but that you continue to gain experience. How do different time zones work? Are they matched with companies in the same time zones? So the beauty of virtual internships is that they have companies all across the world. So you can absolutely get paired with a company that's in your same time zone, or a company that works with your same time zone. So I can give you examples. A lot of international companies are flexible about time zones, right? And so when you have your first 8 weeks with virtual internships, that is part of what you are working with virtual internships to deal with. How and when do you need to or want to work so that they can match you with a company that matches those needs? Is there scholarship or financial aid for this program? No, there is not. This is a full pay in advance program, and there is no scholarship or financial aid that can be used with this program since it is a partnership with an outside organization. Next semester is my last semester. Will I still graduate in time? No. So as I mentioned, you would need to extend until graduation, until after the internship is over. So after term 4. So you would basically be taking, it sounds like, a single elective, this elective, in term 4, and term 4 would be your last term with the university. Okay, I think I am confused. Who is matching us to a company? Virtual internships Okay, I know it's a bit confusing. I agree. You're doing a virtual internship. Okay. Virtual internships is actually the company's name, the partner name that we work with. Virtual internships, the partner, is the one matching you with a company. So we work directly with them. You fill out an application with them in course 1 of this program, and they are taking that information to match you with a host company. You will work with what they call advisor at virtual internship, who works directly with you, like literally will get on a call with you, ask you questions, make sure that they understand what your needs are and match you with the right host company. And then you'll interview with the host company, which is lovely because then you have an opportunity to sort of see who you would be working with and get a sense of their culture and the projects and ask questions. And so your match with the company will be a company that you feel good and confident about. And that is what one of the beauties of virtual internships, the partner, is that they are very committed to making sure students have a very amazing experience in the internship program. Are the credits we get from the internship graded or non-graded? They are so I believe they are graded. They're graded like an elective, and so you still have to do coursework in Moodle in order to gain the credits. So you can watch your progress, as you're through the program. Meant to start internship today, unfortunately, been matched. Okay, so Ruhina, maybe you're already in the internship program. I would say email me. You probably are working directly with virtual internships. You will be matched with the company. So that is the other thing about virtual internships, the partner, is they guarantee a match, meaning that they will make sure that every student is matched with an internship opportunity. Okay, last term my bachelor's degree, will I get my graduation certificate while I'm doing the internship? Nope, you will not. You have to wait till after the internship is over and after the course that you are doing here at the university is over in order to get your diploma. After terms 3 and 4, will there be another pair of virtual intern? We do believe that we will be offering virtual internship again in term 4 and possibly term 5. Now, I say we are fairly sure, but because this is a third party we are working with, we're not always guaranteed that we can continue the relationship. So our hope is that, yes, this will not be the last term that we offer this opportunity. So if for some reason this term doesn't seem the right time for you to do it, we do absolutely hope that we are going to offer it in the future. Is it a guarantee? No, but I do definitely believe we are going to try to offer it, and it will be offered again in term 4. Will it affect GPA? Yes, it is technically an elective course and it will go towards your course load allowed. Okay, I'm just trying to hop on here, see if there's any other questions. Okay, so keep asking those questions. I'm definitely going to wait a few more minutes and make sure that we are getting everyone's questions answered. I can tell you some of the biggest questions I have seen in the past you all have asked already. So can you graduate while in the program? No. You have to wait till you get through the entirety of the 2 courses of virtual internship to graduate from University of the People. Other questions that I get a lot about are the host company. What kinds of companies will you get matched with? What kind of projects? Again, I can't really share lists. There's so many companies. What I can say, and I believe this is true of all employment in general, whether it's internship or paid employment, is that you need to find the company that's right for you. And you might not know what company that is until you meet that company. So my best advice to students going through the virtual internship is be honest about what you're looking for and to be vocal with your placement advisor in virtual internship so that you with the right type of internship. This course is not required. This is an elective. So internship is certainly not required by the university. This is entirely voluntary. This is just an opportunity for students to get experience. If you already work and you don't want to have an internship, you absolutely don't have to do this. Again, this is entirely voluntary. This is entirely just to get and help you gain real world experience in the field of study. So again, entirely voluntary. I think another question I've seen in the past is if you're already working and obviously going to school, can you still do virtual internship? Is it manageable? And it is. We have students that have done that and are doing that right now. Are we matched based on experience or just the overall quality of our application? So I wouldn't even say either one of those. You're matched based on the needs and the company needs. So meaning you're sharing with virtual internship the types of projects and the type of experience you're hoping to gain in the internship. And that's how you are matched. The types of projects that you would like to work on, as well as your experience being capable of completing those types of projects. I would say, obviously, the quality of your application, it's always good to have the highest quality on your own work. That helps, obviously, but it's not what predetermines the company you're matched with. Are there already students offered work after the internship? We have had a few cohorts of students already. Only one cohort of students that have actually finished the virtual internship program so far, and we have a couple of cohorts that are in the midst of doing virtual internship right now. We did have students who were matched after their internship with their company. If I have a full-time job, can I participate? Yes, absolutely. As I just mentioned, this is very much meant to be similar in time commitment to another course here at the university. So as long as you can manage your coursework at the university and your full-time job, you should very much be able to handle the internship and your full-time job as well. And we do have students who have full-time work and are also doing the internship. Do I need to fill out an internship application myself or internship portal, or will it appear in the courses automatically? Great question. So when you enroll and register for this program, when term 3 begins in January, you will see in Moodle, right, in your LMS, just like where your regular coursework lives now, a link, and it will direct you to where you fill out your application. So everything's still in Moodle, right? Everything is in Moodle that will direct you to what you need to do for virtual internship. So we are there with you every step of the way. So there's nothing that you need to do like go out and try to find things on your own. We guide you to everything. You get emails, you get reminders, you have everything's in Moodle. We will make sure that you get to everything that you need to, but the internship application is on a portal through virtual internships. So Moodle is like directing you to the virtual internships portal to complete the application, but you'll see the assignment as part of the assignment in Moodle to do each step of the application. When will you be notified of your placement? So every student is different, I will admit. Basically, what virtual internships guarantees is that by the time your second course starts, right? So that term 4, for instance, for this particular version of the program, you will have a match and you will start your internship the Monday after term 4 begins. So term 4 begins on April 9th, and I can't remember, I think that's a Thursday. So you start your internship on April 12th or whatever that next Monday is. You started on the Monday because the companies work Monday to Friday. That's their calendar week, right? We here at University of the People work Thursday to Wednesday is your learning week. The company works on a normal traditional work schedule. So you'll start your internship that Monday. You're notified of your placement as soon as you get placed, meaning some students during the placement process in course 1 interview with the first host company they get matched with, and it's a great match. And they already know that's their match. And they get offered the internship with that company, and they know in the first few weeks of course one who they're going to be working with. Some students interview with 3, 4, 5 companies to find the right match for themselves. So that student might not know until the end of course one or the very beginning of course two what their match is, but you get notified as soon as you get matched. And again, virtual internships guarantees a match. So you will absolutely be notified and matched with the company, and you will know that company because you will have interviewed with them. It's not possible not to get a match unless you don't agree to it as the student. So, you know, you have to agree, obviously, as the student to the match. So I guess, is there a possibility that you could say, oh, no, I don't like any of these companies, I guess. But then it would be that you're not interested in matching with them. You will certainly get matched offers. These have all been excellent questions. We still have a few more minutes, so I'm happy to stay on and answer any more that you all think of. But do know that this is their example, I'm not interested in any match, can I get a refund? No. So the refund policy works identical to the refund policy for any course here. You have a refund opportunity for the first 5 weeks of the course, right? Up to percentages. And that's all outlined in the consent you would be signing when you register for the program. But I can tell you, of all of the students that have done virtual internships so far, we haven't had that instance where they weren't interested in any match. What if I don't make the interview? Well, it's like employment, right? Like, you commit to doing an interview, you should show up for the interview. Does that mean that you won't get another interview? No, but it doesn't look good, right? Obviously, to not show up for an interview. I imagine whatever the host company was, if you didn't show up for the interview, and I'm not sure they would give you a chance to interview again with that particular company. Yes, you do get support in preparing for the interviews. Absolutely. Again, as I mentioned, you have a placement manager you work with, and that person will help get you prepared for the interview. You will also be, during your course one, be taking some career content, as I mentioned, which is going to help you be prepared not only for the interview, but also the internship. So in a world where virtual work is increasingly becoming normal, why can't we assuredly include, well, we can assuredly include them because they're third. So virtual internships is a partner we work with, and so we have to be able to maintain the partnership. I don't foresee necessarily having a challenge doing that, but again, they are a third party partner we're working with, so you can never guarantee anything with a third party. How similar are the interviews to those of a full-time job? I would say fairly similar, right? It is definitely to give you that internship experience, number one, to gain that confidence in interviewing with the company. But it is different in the sense that they know that you are applying for an internship, right? And so they are asking you more about aptitude to learn, ability to learn during the internship, eagerness, projects that you're passionate about, work that you're passionate about, but it is similar to a regular interview as well. And that's a great experience because interviewing can be one of the most challenging things when you're in the job market. And yes, the whole point is to do the internship at the same time that you take other courses at the university. That is exactly how this is set up, and that is why the time commitment, as I mentioned, is similar to any other course here at the university. It is intended to be that way so you can continue to take other courses at the same time. All right, I'm going to give it another minute, see if there's any other questions, but please know as well, the recording will be sent out to you. Give us just, a couple of days to get the recording out to you. Some of you might have been invited as well because you saw there was 2 webinar opportunities to come today or to come tomorrow. If you came today, you don't need to come tomorrow because it's going to be the exact same information. But you will get an email with the recording, with the information, with a guide. So please know that. As I mentioned, the internship begins in term 4, right? So that's April of next year. But if you want to start the internship, you got to take course 1 to get placed for an internship, right? So 2 course commitment. First course in term 3, you're filling out the application, you're getting placed, you're learning skills to be successful in the internship. Second term, term 4, starting in April, the internship starts, and then you're gaining the real world experience. Okay, yes. If you course 1 and not course 2, will you get credit for course 1? Absolutely. As long as you finish a course, you get credit for it, right? So you can earn 3 credits in course 1, but just know if you don't take course 2, you don't actually get any of the internship opportunity. The internship is 8 weeks long. It is the entirety of term 4. Did you say tomorrow is 8? Yes, tomorrow's webinar is exactly the same as today, so no need to come to both. So if you came today, don't feel like you have to either get up early tomorrow or fit in the webinar tomorrow during your day. You've heard all of the information already. I'm so glad that it makes sense. And please know, when the follow-up email is sent out, you can ask questions, right? Like if there's more questions, please don't hesitate. In the email that will be provided, that will have the registration information and this recorded webinar, you can always reply and ask more questions. So please don't feel like this is your only opportunity to ask questions. There will still be plenty of time. Registration doesn't even start until next week. So still time to mull this over and think about it. And as you all know, you have plenty of time to register during regular registration and late registration. So you don't need to make the commitment today, but today was to hear about everything, ask questions, and then spend some time thinking if this is a commitment that you can and want to make, and just to hear about the opportunity. So with that, I thank you all for coming and spending, a good portion of your time with me today. I appreciate being able to share the opportunity with you, to be able to answer your questions. Thank you for asking such meaningful and important questions about the program, virtual internships. And again, if this sounds like the right program for you, you will also hear directly from me during your program experience. And I hope again that this is at least an exciting opportunity, whether it's for you or not, just that the university has made a commitment to get you some more opportunities for real world experience.